Hi. Hi. Kuladharani from Glasgow Buddhist Centre, just getting ready to lead today's online live streaming session, teaching you the loving kindness meditation that we call the metta bhavana. So you've got a few minutes yet before we begin. So get your materials together. If it's your first time meditating, you might want to get yourself something to sit on that you feel comfortable sitting on, that you're going to feel comfortable for sitting still for about 25 minutes. Yeah. So some people use chairs, some people use yoga blocks, some people use cushions, some people lie on the floor. I'm using one of these, but you don't have one of these when you're starting to meditate for the first time. So yeah. So if you do that, that'd be great. Also, the chat box is live, so you can put something into the chat box and say who you are and where you are today. It's always nice to know that there's somebody else somewhere listening. Oh, good. That's my sound and vision clear for the day, that we can be heard and seen. So good. Get a cup of tea. And we'll be beginning in a minute or so. So time to get yourself prepared for meditation. And say hi in the chat box if you've got time. Renton. Hello, my mucker. Shanti Vadra's over in Renton. I'm here in Maryhill. It's a beautiful day and I'm not surprised. It's kind of hard to want to be inside on a day like today. Yeah. So I'm also saying hello to anybody who's watching this video afterwards. Many more people catch these videos later on in the day. So hello to you whenever you're watching this broadcast. Yeah. So today we're going to be doing the metta bhavana, which is a loving kindness meditation. A particular favourite of mine. Was right from the very beginning. Glasgow Buddhist Centre is of course closed just now, but we have a full set of materials available online on the glasgowbuddhistcentre.com, which is our website. Please feel free to subscribe here and keep in touch. We'll be doing these. We'll be teaching live stream twice a week, ongoingly, just for the benefit of all beings, so that everyone can learn to meditate if they want to. So, and up and coming at Glasgow Buddhist Centre, we've got an Introduction to Buddhism class being done online via Zoom, and you can check that out at our website, glasgowbuddhistcentre.com, and under, I think, Buddhism classes. If you press Buddhism, you'll get the full details of the Introduction to Buddhism class there. Okay. Great. So that's us ready to, it's 12:30. So let's get started and thinking about what we're doing. So welcome. Why are we meditating at all? Many people have different reasons why they come to meditation, and you'll have come to this video for your own reasons. But for me, I was looking for some peace in my heart and in my mind. I didn't even know that that's what I was looking for. I was just quite unhappy. I was quite unhappy in myself. And I rocked up at Glasgow Buddhist Centre in Sauchiehall Street one day about nearly 30 years ago, and was sitting in the shrine room and they were teaching meditation, and my mind was running all over the place. My body was in agony. I couldn't quite sit. I didn't quite know what to do with myself. I mean, that was more to do with me than anything else. But actually during that first sit, I realized I could be at peace. It is possible to be at peace. And yeah, that has been my experience since, ongoingly and increasingly in practicing meditation. But in a sense, it's about training the mind and discipline. Discipline sounds like a hard word for us, but it's training the mind to be aware and training the heart to be open. And there's two aspects to meditation that we teach. So we teach both the mindfulness of breathing and the metta bhavana. And today we're teaching the metta bhavana, the development of loving kindness, because it's really important for a practitioner to be able to not only see and be aware of what's happening, but to be looking with a kindly eye at what's happening. Yeah. So there's a twofold, the wisdom and the compassion side of these practices. It's important to develop both. Otherwise, you struggle to fly as a practitioner. So metta, the metta bhavana as we know it, there are 3 good reasons why you should practice metta bhavana. It's not the most popular metta practice, I have to say. I'm noticing for people. I love it, but metta isn't. Mostly because I imagine it brings us up with really difficult feelings. It can bring up quite difficult feelings for us, because in our culture in the West, we're used to not liking ourselves. So, of course, the first thing this practice does is ask us to turn a kindly eye on ourselves, and that can be a bit challenging. But this practice is really worth the bearing with, because I think for me, it has produced such fruit. So there's 3 good reasons I would say you should do metta bhavana. You could give it a go and really give it a go. 1, you will become happier. 2, your relationships with other people will be tinged with warmth and kindness, even people you don't particularly like. So you will be more in touch, more connected with other people. And the 3rd reason, that happiness in yourself, that connectedness with other people will change the world. So can you imagine, you get on a bus, you're in people are in a bad mood, and there's somebody on that bus who's got a bit of space, who's got a bit of loving kindness. That situation on that bus goes from critical to calm, because there's someone there with enough heartfelt to go to diffuse it. And that's what we're all doing all the time. We're going around the world diffusing potential disasters with an open heart and a loving kindness. So that training has helped me be that woman on the bus who's able to do it, and also be the woman on the bus who knows that she's in a bad mood and she needs to dial it down and be aware of myself in those situations. But loving kindness meditations are really worth bearing with. So I'm going to recommend that you bear with this. So that's the 3 reasons for the metta. It makes you happy. It'll connect you more with other living beings, and you'll change the world. What's not to love about that? For the better. Yeah. Okay. So before we begin, we need to spend a little minute or 2 looking at posture. Posture in meditation is quite important. It's the primary importance for posture in meditation, so you're not doing yourself any harm. Yeah, that basic principle. Let's not do any harm to ourselves, and let's not cause ourselves pain. But we're trying to leave the body in as comfortable, alert, and upright position as possible, so that the body itself can be a great housing for the meditation. So you're looking at your body to be a great housing for your meditation, and the body wants to do that. So you're trying to give it the best possible conditions for that. We will be creating very shortly, we're still creating a video about posture, more about posture. But for today, I'm just going to say 2 or 3 very simple things about posture. I'm just going to say you need to have 3 points of contact with the ground. And so I'm going back onto this. So I've got my bum on the cushion, I've got both knees and legs on the floor. And so it's kind of like a triangle. On the chair, you'd have your bum on the chair and your feet on the floor. And if your feet don't quite touch the floor, because sometimes on chairs mine don't, put a cushion below your feet, so you get a sense of solidity, but something below your feet, and you're not stretching. Or if you're lying down, or if you're on cushions, you're trying to get a stable position. Stable. And if you're lying down, you're trying to recreate the upright, alert position in a lying down posture. So imagine that classical, I don't know if you got that at games at school. I didn't do much PE at school, but they were on about this, imagine there's a string pulling your head up, so that your head rests on top of your shoulders gently. You're not pushing your back to be like ramrod military straight. I don't even know if military people do make it ramrod straight, but how I imagine that. You're remembering there's a natural curve in your spine, and it's a gentle, open alertness that you're looking for. Yeah. However that is achieved by you. Yeah. And of course, then the key thing after that is your hands. So you can, if you're on a chair, you can rest your hands on your thighs if that feels comfortable. There's no drag down. You're trying not to drag things down, because if you're holding something, you can, you know. So sometimes you can put a cushion in front of you and put your hands like that. So you're resting your hands. They do become heavy after you've been meditating for a while. My personal preference is, of course, the wee blankie. I love a wee blankie. I just feel so soothed by it. So we're entering into the territory of the unknown during our meditation, just to have a little soothing meditation, a little soothing blanket. So I've just there tucked my hands in the front of that, and there I am, and I can feel my shoulders relaxing. So however you do your posture, that's the basic principle: is no pain, yeah, comfortable, alert enough, and open, yeah. And I think my friends posted, Shanti Vadra's just posted a link to, we've got some posture resources on our website, and there's a link in the chat box there with it. So you just press on that and it'll take you to some, a PDF on our website about posture if you're looking for more. As I say, we're producing a video as well. So here we are. So I'm now going to begin a short body scan. Yeah. So you're sitting in your posture, and we're going to draw our attention to different parts of our body. We're interested in how our body is. We're not trying to do anything to it. We're just drawing our attention to different parts of our body and noticing how it is. So you might want to close your eyes or cast them downwards. And the purpose of that is so that you're taking less input in. Yeah. So you can be a bit more inwardly focused and really noticing what your inner experience is. I'll be keeping my eyes open just to stay in touch with what's happening. So today we'll start turning our attention to our feet. Noticing our feet. Is there any tingling? Does the air tingle your feet? I've got bare feet at the moment and the air is tingling them. It's just being aware of tingling around my feet. What are you aware of? Just paying attention to your feet. Wriggle your toes if it helps you connect with your body a bit more. And then stop. Noticing your breathing as it comes to rest in your body. Moving your attention to your ankles and up your shins and your calves. What sensations are you aware of in that part of your body? Now your knees. Are they bent or straight? Tense or warm? We're just saying hello to the body that's going to hold us up in meditation today. Paying good attention to the foundations of our practice, which always rests in the body. Turning your attention to your thighs, the front and the back of your thighs, those long muscles, the bones of the thighs. What are you aware of? Then up to the buttocks, wherever they're sitting, feel the contact between the buttocks and the chair, the floor, the cushion. Just feeling that solid contact between bones, body, and chair. Casting your attention all the way up your spine, the broad expanse of your back, and rest your attention on your shoulders, noticing what's happening with your shoulders. Taking your attention to the front of your body, to your belly, up over your waist, over your chest, to the bottom of your throat. And rest your attention there. Breathing, noticing the body breathing. Turn your attention over your face. Feel the attention scanning over your face, softening your eyes. Noticing your forehead. Is it wrinkled with effort or open and receptive? Over to your scalp. Can you feel hair or air on your scalp? And just settling for a minute to notice the whole of your body. That's the bell. So stay put, and I'll talk you through the next part of our work together today. So the metta bhavana comes in 5 stages. And at each stage, we'll be turning our attention to a different category of person. Yeah. So the idea of the metta bhavana is that we come into a relationship with a person, we notice how we feel, and then we wish them well and happy, irrespective of how we feel. Yeah. So we're trying to notice what happens when our experience is met with an intention to wish people well. Okay. You just have to have an intention. No matter what you're feeling at the moment, it's just like, but I would like to wish them well. So that's what we're doing in each of the stages. So we're training the mind to be with the idea of people and the idea of wishing them well at the same time. Yeah. So it's a training of the mind heart, really. So it comes in 5 stages, and like the mindfulness of breathing, it gets more, well, the mindfulness of breathing gets more subtle as it goes on, the metta bhavana looks to get more challenging as it goes on, as you practice, as you practice within the time, the different stages develops. So in the first stage, you're going to be turning your attention to yourself, yeah? And you're going to notice, as soon as the lead says, turn your attention to yourself, just bring yourself to mind. And the first thing you want to notice is what happens in your body, heart, mind when you do that, right? Not what should be, not what you'd like to say to people you do, but what actually happens. Because this is the foundation of all practices. We're interested in what is really happening instead of trying to plaster over what is happening. So start with that. So with yourself. And it might well be there's an appreciation of yourself, the first thing. Or it might be you're having difficult feelings about yourself. But whatever it is, you're with that. You're with that. And then you bring a desire for your own well-being to that. So I say, may I be well, may I be happy. Despite all of this, I still want myself to be well and happy. So then in stage 2, we call to mind a good friend. So you're thinking about a good friend, not a sexual partner or someone who's dead. We're trying to say somebody you're alive and in a good friendly relationship with. So you call them to mind, a good friend to mind. And then you notice again what happens when you do that. What's happening in your heart, mind, body? What's your reaction to that? You're being with that, whatever it is. And if there's warmth there, it's usually easier to get a sense of warmth for a good friend, though it's not always the case, but it is usually easier. There's a good friend, and then there's a sense of openness, and you can be with that and just enjoy that experience. Notice that. That openness is a sense of loving kindness. Yeah, loving kindness. And then you wish them well. You look for a place. Is there a desire for the wellness of my friend? And then you say internally, quietly into yourself, may they be well. May they be happy. Then we're moving into the third stage, where we call to mind someone we have neutral feelings towards. We neither love them nor hate them. In fact, there might be somebody we've hardly noticed. And this is the bit I love, because you can call to mind somebody who served you in a shop today, somebody who opened the lift door for you, somebody who pressed the button for you, the Belisha Beacon. You know what I mean? So just a random person that you know nothing about. And you call them to mind and notice how you're feeling. And then you look for a desire for that person to be well and happy. And you wish them well and happy. And then we move on to the fourth stage. And in the fourth stage, you call to mind someone you find difficult, yeah, at the moment. And not the person today, at the beginning, not the person you find devastatingly difficult, somebody you find mildly annoying and a little bit irritating. And most of us manage to do that for each other most of the time. You know, we've got somebody in our circle that we find mildly irritating at the moment. You can use me if you like. I'm quite happy with that. I can be quite irritating to myself. So stage 4, call to mind someone you find faintly annoying. And then notice how you feel when you call them to mind. And you don't have to get into the detail of it or any of it. You can just notice how you feel. You notice what reaction you're having. And then you're looking around. Is there any part of your experience that has a desire for that person to be well and happy? And if you're finding that somewhere, then wish them well. Wish them happy. Yeah. So that's the fourth stage. And in the fifth stage, we call it the equalization and radiation phase. We bring all 4 people to mind. We bring them all back into our meditation. And then we're calling them to mind, and we're noticing how we feel now about each of them. And as this practice develops, eventually you start to feel equally. And there's nothing you can do about forcing that. It just develops over time. But you're noticing how your loving kindness is rationed among people rather than given away to everyone equally. And there's nothing, that's just a practice. There's nothing wrong with where you are right now. That's just a practice. We keep practicing. And when we've developed that loving kindness, whatever we've developed in the course of the whole practice and in the equalization, we do the thing that we love to do as Buddhists. We give it away. We just send it out into the world. And you send out to different groups of people, increasingly far and far away people. So it might be people in your own family you start sending it to, then people in your own street, then your own city, town, village, your own part of the country, your own continent, then the whole world. And the thing I always remember during this practice is at some point, somewhere in the world, someone is sending you metta as part of their all beings everywhere. So you're just joining in that process of helping the world swim in a little more loving kindness by radiating it out. So that's the 5 stages of the practice. You don't need to remember it. I'm going to lead you through it and say it as we go. And we will be putting up a resource, which is a led metta bhavana meditation, just on its own. But you'll be able to use this video to get to this point of the video and do it again for yourself when you're doing the practice yourself. So, getting yourself prepared for a led metta bhavana practice, a development of loving kindness. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water to make sure my don't go dry. It's actually tea. In the spirit of full disclosure. So here we are, the metta bhavana. And I'll be signalling the stages with this bell that you heard earlier that I had to go and rescue because I'd left it out of sight. Just goes like that. Yeah, that's the bell. We'll be signaling all the stages with that. So, taking your posture, taking up your seat, your meditation seat. Closing your eyes. And feeling sympathy with your own body. Just feeling your way into your own body, the seat of your practice today, and your own breath, which is supporting your body. The metta bhavana. First stage of the metta bhavana, loving kindness towards yourself. So bringing yourself to mind, notice what arises in your body, heart, mind when you do that. What reactions and responses do you have to yourself? Is there tension? Is there ease? Happiness? Sadness? What reactions arise when you bring yourself to mind? You're just being present to them all, whatever they are, and keeping breathing. If your attention wanders, come back, call yourself to mind, and notice what your response is. Is there a desire for yourself to be well and happy? Do you have that desire to be well and happy? And say to yourself, may I be well and happy. May I be free from pain and suffering. May I be well and happy. There's no right way and wrong way to be in relationship to yourself. There's just how you are right now. And any desire you have for your own well-being and happiness can be expressed in may I be well, may I be happy. So letting go the idea of yourself, notice how you feel after the first stage of the metta bhavana. And turning your mind to the second stage, bring to your mind a good friend. And notice what your body, mind, heart response is to the idea of your good friend. Is it a sense of warmth or coolness, openness or closedness? Whatever it is, we're being present to what is actually there when we call to mind the idea of our good friend. If your attention wanders, bring it back to the idea of your good friend, noticing your response to your good friend. And is there anywhere in you a desire for the well-being and happiness of your good friend? If you can feel that earnest wish for your friend's wellness and happiness, notice what that feels like. And whether you can feel it or not, wish your friend well and happy. May they be well. May they be happy. May your good friend be well. May your good friend be happy. So letting go of your good friend, noticing how you feel now after the second stage of the metta bhavana practice. Is there any more warmth? Is there any more ease? There might not be. And bring to mind someone you have neutral feelings towards, someone you don't know very well, either positively or negatively. So bring into mind that person you have neutral feelings towards, and notice what your body, mind, heart response to them is. Wonder what life is like for that person. What are the stresses and strains of their day? Is there a part in you can feel a desire that this person too wants to be well and happy? Do you see that they also want to be well and happy? Is there a desire in you for them to be well and happy? And whether there is or not, wish this person well and happy. May they be well. May they be happy. Even if you struggle with it, just say it. May they be well. May they be happy. To yourself. And if your attention wanders, come back to the person you have neutral feelings towards, your response to them, and the wish that they too be well and happy. And dropping the idea of the person you were focusing on, the neutral person, just pay attention to how you're feeling now. Call to mind the difficult person, or rather the person you feel difficulty in relationship to. So the person who stirs up difficult feelings for you. And notice what reaction you have in your body, mind, heart when you do that. Is there tension? Is there fear? Is there anger? Whatever there is, notice it. Pay attention to it. Just staying with good attention to what's actually present. Not running away from it, but turning towards it. And this person, believe it or not, also wants to be happy. This person also wants to be well. Can you find in your experience any desire for the wellness and happiness of this person you find difficult? And whether it's there or not, just give a go, saying, may this person be well. May this person be happy. May they be well. May they be happy. Just say that internally to yourself as you're calling them to mind. May they be well. May they be happy. If your attention wanders, just come back to the idea of the difficult person and your response to them. And the desire that they too will want to be happy. May they be well. May they be happy. And dropping the idea of the difficult person now, noticing how you are after 4 stages of the metta bhavana. Moving into the final stage of the metta bhavana practice. Call all 4 beings in your practice today to mind. Yourself, your good friend, the neutral person, and the person you find difficult. And notice how you're feeling to all 4. Notice your feelings to all 4. And seeing if the practice is loosening up any greater desire for the wellness of people further and further away from you. Can you equalize your desire for the well-being to all 4? Can you wish them all equally happy and all equally well? May they all be well. May they all be happy. Now we're going to radiate any warmth you might feel or your desire for the wellness of everyone. We're going to radiate that out to greater and greater numbers of people. So maybe begin by wishing everyone on this live stream, either live or in the future, well and happy. May all those beings, whenever they watch this, be well and happy. Now spread out your loving kindness to everyone in the village, town, city, or country in which you're residing right now. May they all be well. May they all be happy. Spreading it out to the whole world, stage by stage, as far as you can go, further into space if you want to. Just wish all beings, wherever they are, may they be well, may they be happy. And to conclude the practice, just let go of any aspect, trying or straining, and just sit and notice what effect this practice today has had on you. Like a caring mother, holding and guarding the life of her only child, so with a boundless heart, hold yourself and all beings. like a caring mother holding and guarding the life of her only child. So, with a boundless heart, hold yourself and all beings. So that's your metta bhavana practice. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it helpful. And I hope you either love it right now or grow to love it as much as I have over the years. It's been a massively key practice in calming me down and making me less harsh. I've still got a bit to do, but it just softens my relationships with the world. So I was always very happy to share this practice. So if you want to let me know how that was for you, that's great. If you have any questions about the practice, we've got a few minutes still of the broadcast time, so we can cover that. Thanks, Shantivajra. And Shantivadra's written all the stages down in the chat box, so they'll be there later as well. So you've got them all if you there. I just want to say hi to Francis from Kirkcaldy. Hi, and Anne. Hello. You won't manage to stay all the way through today. It's no worries, Anne. That's okay. Great. Lovely to see you. Okay. So, Glasgow Buddhist Centre is doing a live, is doing introductory, start again. On the 6th of July, we'll be starting an introductory Buddhism class, which you can find out more about on glasgowbuddhistcentre.com. Francis is saying, oh, great, Anne, you managed to stay all the way. That's lovely. Really good. It's well worth this, the persevering with this practice. It has such a strong effect on my heart and my relationships with people. Yeah. Didn't sleep so well last night. Wandering mind. Lovely bit at the end there when it went out to all. Yeah, that is the best bit. That is the best bit for me. That is great. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I don't sleep at night as well, and it's quite hard to stay focused. And yeah, sometimes you do need a good sleep. But it's that intention. We just keep bringing that intention to be well and happy. And the basic truth that is true for probably everybody. They just want to be well and happy, and that's something we have in common with everybody. So yeah, so I'll just wind up today. Glasgow, as you know, and you probably all do know, Glasgow Buddhist Centre works on the basis of dana, which is generosity. So anything you can give to us to help us keep going will be well used, and will help us continue teaching the Dharma and giving away the Dharma on a dana basis, just completely because we love doing it and we see how well we just don't want charging to get in the way of people being able to practice Buddhism or practice meditation. So if you can help us do that, fantastic. Thank you. If you can't help us do that, that's okay too. Thank you for coming and thank you for being with. And if you're able to let other people know about this channel, that would be great. We're going to be here for the duration. We don't know how long, but for as long as we can see, we're really enjoying doing this practice with you on this channel. And we're really happy to keep going and offering it to anybody anywhere in the world who wants to learn how to meditate. So pass this channel on to anybody you know that might want to learn how to meditate. And yeah, that would be lovely. Thank you. Yeah, are you including the astronauts? That's fantastic, Alan. Yeah, always goes to space station as well. Yeah, astronauts on the space station. That's fantastic. I'd never thought about the astronauts on the space station. Well, I'm sure they'll be loving that. Okay. Well, every being without fear or favor. Absolutely. Every sentient being without fear or favor. That's where we're going out. So thank you for being with us today. That's been totally lovely. If there's no more questions, I'll happily leave it there. So go well with your day. Be happy. Be safe. Bye-bye. I really do want to end.